Girl.
No. Okay, it looks like we are being live streamed on YouTube.
Hey, Lakeisha. Hey, Lauren.
Hello, hello, hello.
Lee, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can. Thank you for the reminder about the live stream.
You're welcome. So I haven't heard from anyone that they will not be present today.
Okay.
Mary Frances expects to be running just a few minutes late,
Okay.
but I say we give it a few more minutes. Give people a chance to hop on.
There's Glorstein. Woo-hoo.
Lauren,
Hey,
congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know if it's an appointment or like, here's a job. So make the office
Hey,
work.
everybody.
I hope that means you'll be able to apply for the job as well.
Yes, because I won't have a job to go back to because they're nulling my job that I previously had last week. So for those of you that don't know, I got asked to be the interim associate director and director of our Center for Leadership and Civic Engagement. I was formerly the assistant director. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So it's exciting. But yeah,
Congratulations.
It was quick. It was a quick turnaround. So my supervisor's last day was last Friday. And so I've been tapped in the interim to eventually be the full-time director.
Cool.
So
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Brown.
Yes, I'm on the road, so I'm heading to Greenville. And so I will be up here. I have a meeting at 6:00, but I will be up here until 6 anyway.
All right.
Okay.
How are you, Glorstein?
Crazy.
We already knew that.
Oh, it's a little wild for a small town, I tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
But I won't complain.
Well, you're doing good things there.
Well,
At
we're
least that's what I
trying.
hear.
We're trying. We're trying.
Hey,
Takes a
Dr.
lot.
Silvernail.
Hello. I don't have my camera on because the sun's kind of over my left shoulder right now and it blinds you guys.
We appreciate that. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Mr.
5,
James.
6. Kayla, do you know Bert James?
I do not.
Well, we'll do intros in a little bit, but he's with Homegrown Agriculture.
Oh, awesome.
We need one more person to make a quorum, so let's maybe wait a couple more minutes. I do know that Mary Frances will be on.
So, Lee, I want to share something with you, just share something with all of y'all. So we are funding a grant right now. It's kind of an off-cycle grant, but it's through our endowment that we have. And it's with Easter Seals, United Cerebral Palsy. And they're doing a program called Recipe for Independence.
Okay.
And they started it, was it last week before? So their clients for the class happen to be the people at the Cerebral Palsy Center, right there downtown. And they've got an area that they're using. And so I went and distributed a check to them last week. And, they welcome any questions. This is a pilot that they're piloting here in Greenville. And they hope that, it's going to be a successful pilot and then they can take it out to other communities, in North Carolina and maybe national at some point. And I share with them about some of the work, with the cooperative extension here, and they would welcome us if we would like to go and watch one of their classes sometime.
Are these adults or young people?
Different ages.
Okay.
Different ages. So yeah.
Okay.
So most of the people that are in the program are in a day program with.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
We do have a quorum if you want to go ahead and call to order, Lauren.
all right. Well, welcome everybody. I call this meeting to order at 5:06 p.m. on October 19th. Do you want to do roll call or are you good with?
Yeah,
Pages.
Okay.
yeah, I'll do roll call. Brandon Qualls,
And most of the people that are in the program are in a day program with.
Okay.
we do have a quorum if you want to go ahead and call to order, Lawrence. I'm hearing things that I said.
I call this meeting to order at 5:06. Sounds like it's the feedback from the recording currently. Maybe.
Okay, I think we're good. I was really confused there. For a
I know,
second.
I was like, are we going
apologize
back
that
in
I
time?
stopped abruptly. Okay, so I'm gonna read you the roll call. Brandon Qualls is not here. Carlton Gay, I don't believe is here. James Rhodes,
Hey guys, I'm here.
Eulalia Williams, absent. Lauren Howard,
Here.
Mayor Glorstein Brown,
Here.
Kayla Hall,
Here.
Lee Guth,
Here.
Lakeisha Pittman,
Here.
Pastor Mary Frances McClure, absent currently, but should be joining us soon. Billy Tarleton, absent. Dr. John Silvernail,
I am here.
Mr. Jake Barrow, which he is absent, and we will discuss his position shortly. All right, roll call is complete.
All righty, thanks for that. Moving on to approval of the minutes. Hope everybody had the opportunity to review the minutes from last meeting. So that would be the September meeting. Does anyone at this point have any questions or corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the September meeting.
So move.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Thank you for your lovely eyes on this glorious fall day. So moving on to the next item is introduction of our guest, and I believe we have one. So if we want to first go around before our guest introduce ourselves, then I'll of course call you out so you can say your name and just what you do. So you don't have to give an update just yet. So of course our guests know who are in the room. I will go for, I think Bert is joining us from Homegrown Agriculture. Bert, my name's Lauren Howard. I currently serve as the interim associate director of the Center for Leadership and Civic Engagement. And in my previous role, which was just last week, I helped oversee on-campus food pantry, Purple Pantry. And so that's why I'm on this council. And I'll just go clockwise in which I see folks. So Caitlin.
Hey, Barrett, nice to chat again. Thanks for being here. I'm the coordinator for the Pitt County Farm and Food Council.
And then Lee.
Hi, Bert. Lee Guth. I'm the Cooperative Extension Director here in Pitt County.
And Mayor Brown, if you can. I know you're driving.
Yep. Hey, Bert. Glorstein Brown, Mayor of Bethel.
James.
Hello, Bert. I'm James Rhodes with the Pitt County Planning Department.
And John.
Hey, Bert. I am Dr. Silvernail. I'm the Public Health Director for Pitt County.
And Lakeisha.
Hello, my name is Lakeisha Pittman. outreach coordinator with the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina, Greenville branch.
Then Miss Kayla.
I'm Kayla Hall. I work with Vidant Health Foundation. I'm the Director of Community Benefit Grants Program.
Then Mary Frances, you just joined us, but we're just introducing our guest or one of the two guests that will be joining us today, just by introduction. So no updates, but just intro. So if you want to introduce yourself.
My name is Mary Frances McClure. I'm the pastor at Bethel United Methodist Church, and I am a fan of farmers.
Love that.
Look,
Love that.
look, we have Bethel well represented today. Glad to see it.
We sure do.
So is this the Bert James from Bethel?
Well, we will see. So I'm going to give it over
go
to
ahead,
Bert
go ahead.
James
Okay.
to introduce themselves. So Bert, if you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about homegrown agriculture, you have the floor. I know Bert did say he's at a track meet, so.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I had to mute because I've got a bunch of screaming children and fans in the back,
All good.
which is great. But I've come out to the parking lot, so I shouldn't be interrupted. So thanks for all the introductions. I'm familiar with a lot of the names and faces and voices, and appreciate what you guys are doing. I've been in business for 2 decades now, going on 2 decades. I work with the small side of farming and then also the large side. I've been a part of a lot of different initiatives in the county and in Bethel. As we all know, it's this tough road to hoe, as they say. So not all those have gone that great, but the energy's always been there, and always like to help when I can. So very interested to see what you guys have going on.
We appreciate you joining us. And then Caitlin, did you have any insight on Andy?
Yeah, so Andy was hopeful to be able to hop on. He is working this evening, so it was a hard maybe. But I did want to let you guys know that Andy Jansen is with Old Creek Produce, and this is the farmer that our funds from the Community Food Strategy Shared Gifting will be supporting in order to create a high tunnel on his property, which we'll get into a little bit later, but that's who Andy Jansen is, and he may pop in at some point if he's able, but if not, it's a quick little intro.
Great. Well, again, thanks for joining us, Bert. If you have any questions for us throughout the rest of today, feel free to unmute yourself, but I know that being at a track meet, that's probably your first priority, so just feel free to listen on in, but we're glad to have you. So moving right along to community announcements and updates, I'll go in reverse order of what I went in previously. So starting with Kayla Hall.
Unmute. So right now, what we've got going on is I'm summarizing all the end of year reports. Appreciate all of y'all's reports. And I'm just briefly kind of discussing offline about a grant that we just funded with Easter Seals, United Cerebral Palsy Center. And they're going to be piloting a Recipe for Independence program for their clients and their families. And they will have a graduation at the end. So Lee, maybe we can attend the graduation and see, because they're going to make a meal that last night. And but anyway, but we can touch base with that off camera. And then Lakeisha was nice enough to let us know that they had some isolation gowns that could be donated, that could be used by Vidant. And so I think maybe Desiree and maybe they've coordinated that. Has that been taken care of? It has? Okay, all right. But thank you for thinking of us, because I know we can use it for our vaccination clinics and our testing sites, and, you know, Health Assist and Access East can use them. So we really appreciate you thinking about us. And it's going to be time again to issue call for letters of intent. I haven't really decided when that's going to be, November, December. And part of that is because I'm getting ready to go on a trip to Hawaii, and I don't want a whole lot of calls and emails, you know, that's going to generate from that. I'd rather so we'll see how that goes. I don't know if it's going to be mid-November when I issue it, or we'll see. But anyway, I'm not checking anything when I'm in Hawaii. No emails, nothing. So there you go.
Have fun. Have fun.
Yeah, so, but anyway, thank you guys for everything you do.
Great. Take us with you, Kayla. Take us with you.
I know. I know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Any questions for Kayla?
No questions, just kudos and highlighting the connection between council members on shared resources. Good job, you guys.
All right, moving on to Lakeisha.
Hi. So for me, just wanted to share some of our distribution numbers. So for September, we distributed 1,148,011 pounds. That puts us at almost 3.9 million for the year so far, and our fiscal year starts in July. So good numbers based on from what we've been experiencing, especially with last year with COVID. From our programs team works with CSFP, which is Commodity Senior Food Program, and they are looking for more sites. Specifically, I know we're Pitt County, but I know we have a lot of connections outside of that. So looking for Wilson and Greene County folks, because we only have one in each of those. So you guys have any connections with Wilson and Greene County that may have seniors that are serving, please let me know. And also I had a really great opportunity to award 2 of my partner agencies. I know you guys here are familiar with Word of Truth, that we awarded the food box truck to earlier this year, as well as Emmanuel Community Fruitful Baptist. Both of them have been stellar partner agencies and really helped me out when I first started. Actually, today is my 1 year, but they really helped out. It really helped out as far as peer-to-peer program that we have. And I was bringing on more agencies at one time. And so they were very willing and helpful, even in the midst of COVID, to help out with that. So I was able to give them their star volunteers with all gift cards for themselves between Food Line and Harris Theater. So really excited about that, to award them and just give them some appreciation for their hard work. But that's all for me.
All right, any questions for Lakeisha? All right, seeing none, moving right along to James.
Hey everyone, I've got the 3 C's for you tonight. Of course, starting with census, and more particular, the voting districts were approved in our marathon meeting last night, and Dr. John Silvernail will attest that meeting was way too long. So number 1 is census, and the voter districts for Pitt County Board of Commissioners have been approved. Hallelujah. So we're on from that. The second thing is our comprehensive land use plan. We're getting ready to start the update of that. So we'll be dealing with everything from farmland preservation to suburban development to a lot of new types of land uses that are coming into our more rural areas of the county. So we will be certainly announcing some stakeholder meetings and other ways that the community can get involved. So you'll hear more about that. The final C is cryptocurrency, and that's what kept us all night with the commissioners last night. We had a quasi-judicial hearing and a lot of discussion about this particular, we call it a large-scale data processing center. Basically, it's a lot of modules that would be placed in a somewhat rural area right off Martin Luther King Boulevard near Belvoir Elementary School, if you've read anything about it. So that meeting drug on for so long, and they gave us the pleasure of continuing it to our next meeting. So Stay joined in. We have an open hearing between now and November the 1st. So more to come on this story. So if you're interested in cryptocurrency, stay tuned.
Wow.
Thank you.
Isn't there one more C that Caitlin said composting got approved?
I don't want to steal her thunder. And I don't know what time that happened. I left.
Yeah, you jetted out before my item was up. Thanks.
Sorry about that.
Yes, that meeting was way too long, but my agenda item passed unanimously. Yes, so it was a good evening. So just be on the lookout for composting in the coming months, you guys.
All righty. Well, any questions with C's, I guess, involved for Jane?
Yeah, huh?
Any questions? Do you have a question, Mayor Brown?
No, I'm good. I'll
Okay.
wait.
All right, moving on to John.
Hello again, everybody. The sun is still over my left shoulder, so I don't want to turn my camera on and blind you all here, although it looks like Laura Steen's got a face full of sunshine.
I do. It is.
Hey, really, I guess some good news to report on all COVID fronts right now. COVID vaccines, Pitt County wise, where 51% of the county residents have received at least one dose. 48% of county residents are fully vaccinated. So in the partially vaccinated, the raw number is north of 92,000. In the partially vaccinated, I think it was north of 86,000. We lost some data in that if you follow our numbers, because the federal pharmacies, the chain pharmacies, when they were reporting into the system, were reporting by county of administration, not county of residence. And public health data is all tracked by county of residence. So when they adjusted those numbers, we lost a couple of percentage points in hub county. The vaccines themselves, we continue to have the Moderna vaccine available on a daily basis at the health department. We will make appointments for folks. We will also see walk-ins. So if you get the urge, if you haven't had a vaccine and you just want to walk in and get it, you can. If you want to make an appointment, you can make an appointment. We have a crew working at a Mexican event this week up in Belvoir. They have the Mexican consulate here to complete IDs and passports and things like that for Pitt County residents of Mexican descent or origin. And we have a crew up there to give vaccines at that event. So we're hoping that we'll be able to give some shots up there this week. A lot of talk in the news about third doses versus boosters. And I know the difference is subtle and that drives everybody crazy. For myself, I'm lucky if I get out of the parking space most of the days on that drive to crazy. So, but third doses are given to those who have some challenge to their immune system that prevents them from responding fully to the initial vaccine series. And the third doses can be given as early as 28 days after completion of the original series for those with some kind of challenge or challenge to their immune system or some sort of immunocompromised state. And nowadays, with all the different immune modifying medicines, there are many folks who fit into that role. People who have transplants, people who are receiving therapy for cancer, people with inborn immunocompromised states, those living with HIV, things like that, all fit into that group. Even folks who may be on a prolonged course of steroids for something would fit into that group potentially. So if you're unsure, you can always discuss it with your medical provider. Boosters are given to individuals who have some waning of their immunity. And we generally, at least with Moderna and Pfizer, that's being seen at around the 200-day mark post completion of the series. So a little over 6 months after completing the original series. And so Pfizer was approved for booster doses a few weeks ago, and folks have been getting their Pfizer boosters. Moderna was approved by the FDA at the end of last week, it goes before the CDC this week. So we expect by the end of the week that it'll have the FDA approval as well as the CDC and the CDC's ACIP, or Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, approval. And we expect to be giving Moderna boosters maybe by the end of this week, but more likely the first of next week. The J&J vaccine will apparently has also been given FDA approval for a second dose, also waiting for approval through the CDC and the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. So stand by on those. Pediatric doses, I know the state is very anxious about this. We had to agree to accept an allotment of Pfizer pediatric vaccine by 7 o'clock tonight, or we were going to lose it. We believe that most of our larger pediatric groups here are getting it, and we'll be able to give that. The state thinks there's going to be a big surge in demand for this. I kind of question that. I think that parents may be reluctant to give this vaccine to their children in the 5 to 11 age group. Not that I don't think it's safe, not that I don't think it's effective. If anything, it probably worked younger in that group because they have a more active immune system. But I think some parents may be reluctant to give that under emergency use authorization, as it will still be under emergency use authorization for pediatric doses. We expect that to become operational sometime in the first week or so of November, depending on, number one, the FDA approving it, and then it also has to go before that CDC committee and receive approval. COVID data, I look at those numbers every day. Sometimes I see those numbers in my sleep. Our data across all fronts is looking better. We saw a big surge in the school age kids, the 0 to 17 age kids through the Delta wave. Those numbers have come down. Numbers in African Americans have actually dropped considerably. They peaked a little bit later than some of the other racial or ethnic groups, but they've dropped dramatically in the data. Age-wise, still the biggest group is the sort of the young adult worker, the 25 to 49-year-old group, followed by our college age folks, the 18 to 24-year-old group, and then thirdly by our older workers, which sadly I am part of, the 50 to 64-year-old age group. And so numbers are coming down. And when I say coming down, we've come down significantly from the peak, but we're still at about the top of the spring wave that we had back in March and April. So still a lot of virus around, a lot of virus circulating, but definitely improving. At a county level, our percent positivity was down to 7.3%, and that tends to be kind of a leading indicator. Hospitalizations tend to be sort of a lagging indicator, but even the hospitalizations across the Vidant system, and I don't speak for Vidant, but I see their data, and they've come way down. So we're clearly on the backside of the Delta wave. All the sequencing is still Delta. We have not seen the emergence of another variant here in the state or in the East yet. So stability of the virus is a good thing in terms of getting towards, a herd immunity state here. And so I feel pretty good about where we are right now. Flu shots, we're behind in getting our flu shot program up and running this fall, but we're going to be giving flu shots. I know many practices are already giving flu shots. You can co-administer a flu shot with the COVID vaccine as well now. And so if you haven't got your flu shot yet, please consider it. And I think I'll stop there. And if you get questions, happy to answer them.
Any questions for Dr. Silvernail?
No, but that's good news. Thank you for sharing.
I'm happy to share some good news for a change, Kayla.
I believe ECU had some kind of event to administer both flu shots and also COVID boosters, I think I saw on their campaigning.
Mm-hmm. So
was that today?
Yep. So a couple weeks ago, it was on our health sciences campus. They called it, there's two words around campus. They're calling it Flu Fest and Flu Palooza to try to get students out there. I said shots, but that got, of course, kicked out.
Shot down?
Shot down, for sure. No pun intended.
I like Flu Palooza.
Yes. So They had great marketing for it. We were really happy about that. And then today it was on main campus, right outside of the student center on the lawn. So I'm a proud double dosage of my COVID booster. It was Pfizer that we were offering with ECU physicians and my flu shot. So I'm a proud double doser today. My
Yay.
arms are feeling it, though. I'll definitely say that. But I feel great as of right now. So yes, ECU was in the thick of it with you, Dr. Silvernail, today and last week, I believe, or the week before that.
Lanique has been a fantastic partner through this.
Yes, 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 for sure. We call her COVID Queen on ECU's campus.
A title I'm sure she'll be happy to relinquish.
Exactly. Whenever we say it, she's like, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. So, yeah. All right. Well, y'all switched positions, but I'm going to go with Mayor Brown because I know that she may have to leave soon. So, Mayor Brown, if you're still with us.
Mayor, you're going to have to unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I was trying to look. I just have a couple of things that an organization, United Providers of Health. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but right now they are renting or leasing a building right beside our pharmacy, and they are there 2 days a week right now. They are doing still doing COVID testing on Wednesdays and Thursdays. If I think I've got the timing right, from 10 to 3, and we have really had some people to come over from even in other counties that have come over to get the testing done. Also, for the community wise, we have a person in the community. We're going to have our Smith Street trunk or treat on the 31st, and they're actually doing something a little different. They're going to do a drive-through event. And they're asking for drive-through events and walkers are welcome, because where the area is, we will probably have some children that will walk, and they are still asking that masks are mandatory for this event. So it looked like it's going to turn out really, really well. Excited about that. Also, we have a group in Bethel now that is called the Bethel Advocacy Committee. And they have been really busy in the community, and Pastor McClure is a part of that as well. And they're going to do something on the 13th of November. It will be the Bethel Advocacy Committee and the Bethel Fire Department presents Fall Harvest Festival. And they will be located at the corner of Main and Washington Street from 9 until. And they're going to have some of the things going to have craft fair, music, food truck, barbecue, face painting, fun games, candy apple, baked goods, raffles, popcorn, fruits and vegetables. So all of that will be something different, something really, exciting for us. And that again will be Saturday, November 13th, and it's being hosted by the Bethel Advocacy Committee and the Bethel Fire Department. And we didn't think we were going to have a parade, but we have an organization that is going to put on a parade for us this year. So that will be November the 4th at 10 o'clock, right on Main Street. And on that Friday afternoon, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to have a tree lighting, as well as they're going to have vendors that's going to come over, and they should be selling Christmas items. So you can come do some Christmas shopping on the 3rd that afternoon. And also we're going to have hopefully some entertainment as well. And they're going to have a king and queen and give out toys and gifts to the children. So that's a little something extra that we did not anticipate, but God got a way of fixing things up. So a little excitement in the community for the holidays. So we won't be totally dry north of the river. We will have a little excitement going on. And I will hush and let Pastor McClure tell some things. I know she has some things she wants to share as well. Thank you.
Our fall garden is growing. the collards are starting to look quite nice in Bethel. And Fred, our community gardener, has been working on another plot of land, and it's going to have grapes on it for next year. And a farmer, another person has donated some sweet potatoes for seed for next year. And I learned how to drive a really big mower. And
That's awesome.
And I didn't chop my leg off. So
That's a plus for sure. Any questions for Mayor Brown or Mary Frances?
You forgot your blood drive, Pastor McClure.
That's true. We do have a blood drive on Thursday. If anyone would like to come north of the river and donate blood, it'll be at Bethel United Methodist 2 to 7. And there are currently plenty of spaces available. The only one I know is full is 2 p.m.
Great. All right. Moving on to Lee.
Hi, all. Can't think of a whole lot to share with you. I feel like most of it was shared last month. Do want to just remind you that we do have our food and nutrition programming that's available to folks in the community. Our family and consumer science agent is doing some things in person. She's offering also some other virtual events and cooking classes, nutrition classes. She's been out at Bethel doing the LIFT program with seniors at the center there. So please don't forget that she is available to come to you and to your communities to do programming. Would love to have you reach out to me or to Tanisha Armstrong to get that planned. But right now, that's all I know of to share.
All right. Well, I will round us out before we give it over to Caitlin. Just some general updates from ECU. So we talked about the Flu Fest that is happening. They may have some more, but of course, programming or marketing for it hasn't come out just yet. In the Purple Pantry world at ECU, we've already had 70 visits in October. So I think that speaks volumes to us expanding our operations, where we had just 70 visits last month. And then in October, so we did a food bank or a food drive at the food bank and donated. Our student orgs here at ECU really showed up and showed out. We donated over 25,000 pounds of food. And so Lakeisha was there, and it was just really good to see how grateful the food bank staff were, because of course, in return, the agencies would be really grateful to see more canned food instead of the random items the food bank gets. So we were happy to do that, and that was in partnership with the homecoming committee at ECU. So we'll be back next fall. And then for the Thanksgiving holiday, we'll be doing Purple Pantry and Campus Kitchen at ECU will be hosting Turkey Palooza. So hosting about 50 turkeys for Joy's Soup Kitchen, as well as Little Willie Center, in addition to meal boxes for the Thanksgiving holiday. So that's coming up. And then just in general, so work updates for me. My former supervisor now, her last day was last Friday. And in return, I've been tapped to be the interim director of our Center for Leadership and Civic Engagement. So it's kind of a high and low, and all have to, of course, take some more responsibility as it pertains to overseeing the professional staff in our office. So I may have to take a step back from the council, as well as just being the chair of this lovely council, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So I'm excited for the opportunity. This is, of course, a great professional development opportunity for me. Of course, not expected, but what is, especially in this day and age that we're living in. But I'm going to take hold of that opportunity while given. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Any questions for me?
So Lauren, I just, this afternoon before this meeting, I watched a webinar with community health rankings and had to do with civic engagement and how that relates to health. And so I think they recorded it. So there you go.
Awesome.
I can send you a link or some information if you want to just, I mean, you've probably got enough on your plate, but I just thought it was interesting and I'm going,
No,
wow, okay, yeah.
I'd love to take a peek at that and definitely give it
Okay.
to one of the assistant directors oversees the civic engagement or the democratic engagement side of our office. So I'd love to give them that.
Okay, I'll get that to you.
Yeah.
We're proud of you, Lauren.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all definitely helped me become who I am. About 2 years ago, I was like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but definitely joined a great community and hopefully I'll still be able to stay on, but just not in the chair role.
It's good to be young and have so much potential.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're
Congratulations.
fading,
about
you're
the census.
rising. That's good stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right.
So next on the agenda is the community food strategy shared gifting event, but we're kind of already on the topic of chair succession. So we'll get to that first. So as Lauren stated, she's got a lot more on her plate right now and feels it would be best to step down as chair. Also, Mr. James Rhodes, I think that you have exceeded your 2-year vice chair mark. So our rules of procedure allow for 2 years in office. So Lee and I discussed how to go about this previously, and we've decided to open the floor for anybody who feels they can take on the role as chair or vice chair. And so I'd like to open that up right now if anybody would like to nominate themselves for the chair position and to be able to facilitate these wonderful meetings.
So does James not roll up into chair after being vice chair? James? How does that work?
James was offered the opportunity as vice chair to serve as chair when Karina left her role with the food bank, and he decided to forego the opportunity.
Sorry, had a call come in, couldn't get to you, but I heard you, Kayla, call my name.
Can we, as the former chair, I guess, can I nominate somebody else?
Sure.
Sure.
Well, I nominate Miss Lakeisha Pittman.
I accept your nomination.
That sounds
Yay.
good.
I move that nominations be closed.
I second that.
I third it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Eyes have.
Woohoo!
Boy, Lakeisha, that was quick. You didn't expect that at this meeting, did you?
Woo!
And so I've been kicked out of my role too then. Is that what I heard?
You have served for 2 years as vice chair. So as vice chair, would you like to nominate a vice chair to succeed you?
Yes, I would. Miss Kayla Hall, it's your turn.
I
It
have
is
a
your turn.
conflict. I have a conflict. I fund the program. I can't do it. I have a
There,
conflict.
if you're an active member, you don't have a conflict.
Well, I'm gonna pass that nomination on to Mary Frances McClure. That's what I want to do.
Mary Frances?
While I appreciate the nomination, I just, I'm more of a tangential food and farm person. So I don't know that being a vice chairperson really fits in my wheelhouse.
Well, just so everybody knows, the vice chair position is serves as chair whenever the chair is unavailable. Based on Lakeisha's track record, that will not be often. She has wonderful attendance. And then they also have the option to succeed chair which will be evaluated again in July. We're supposed to do this every July, and we're going to make sure we continue to do that. So roles will be reevaluated in July for both chair and vice chair. But if we don't come to a conclusion on vice chair today, we can also leave James in there for this month and reconvene and vote in next month if everybody would prefer to do that.
Or we can nominate someone who's not here, you know?
Yeah.
We do also have several people who are not here today.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, let's wait till we get the other people here.
All right. So vice chair nominations and election will be conducted next month. Just writing my notes. Okay, so that leads us into the community food strategy shared gifting. I don't know if Lauren, Mayor Brown, and Pastor McClure would like to speak on their experience that they had with this event.
I think it was me, Mayor Brown, and Lakeisha.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Sorry.
Well, I will say that Lakeisha did a very, not Lakeisha, but Lauren did a very excellent job representing, and presenting and speaking. I think she did a great job. And it was very interesting listening to other people. That was my first time listening to other stories and things that were going on.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. I would say from my perspective, that saying "fake it till you make it."
Well, you did a good job.
It was definitely true, but in return, it was definitely an insightful process because I didn't know what shared gifting was. Like, yes, it sounds very self-explanatory, but when you finally get in that space and you're hearing other stories on hunger initiatives and hunger programs, it becomes such a great, impactful, and powerful state or space. So I'm grateful for the experience, and I'm grateful that we got Andy half, if not a little bit above half of his funding that he requested. So fake it till you make it, definitely through the 2 long nights, but grateful for, of course, Mayor Brown and Lakeisha for joining me on both of those nights.
I do want to state that I also heard great things about Lauren and how she represented the council. And I heard this from people from councils in other regions or other counties rather. So really good job, Lauren. Also, Andy Jansen, the farmer with Old Creek Produce, who received the funding to create a high tunnel, was just baffled that he was able to get this funding. He fully anticipated, having to sell excess produce and come out of pocket. So he is very, very thankful and excited about this opportunity. As I stated earlier in the meeting, he did have to work tonight. He was going to try to hop on if he could break away, but just want to let you guys know that he's really grateful to be the recipient of this shared gifting funding.
It'd be kind of neat if we could get some, I don't know, some kind of coverage or an article in the paper about it or something to maybe help draw some attention to Farm and Food Council and, how these relationships, work and that kind of thing. So.
It's a good idea, Kayla. So moving along, I shared an email earlier about the Farm Build Train the Trainer webinar, which will be October 26th, next Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m. I just shared that in case anybody was interested in learning more about the Farm Bill. It is immensely overwhelming with information, and it changes with administration, as Lee reminded me today. I was wondering why I feel like I knew nothing about it anymore. So I will plug the webinar link into the minutes. And then I wanted to mention the Z. Smith Reynolds Community Fund. This is a funding opportunity for nonprofit organizations who work on community projects or moving their community forward. So different initiatives that they're working on. And it's for projects that already have momentum or projects that meet the wishes of the community. So I've plugged the link to that in the minutes as well. The application period opened on October 4th and will close, I believe, on December 4th. So we've got a little bit of time. And one thing that I didn't put into the minutes, or I'm sorry, the agenda that I should have is the Healthy Pilot Program, which is I don't know if it's funded through Access East. I haven't read the full thing about it. Kayla, you might know a little bit about this.
Healthy opportunities. And so
Yes.
Access East is the recipient, and I believe it's some federal funds, but it's supposed to be pretty big and a lot of good things that it's going to be able to do. And I did get an email from Melissa Roop recently, and she's pretty much the person that's administering it. And I can send it to you, Caitlin, if you want to send it out to everybody on the council in case there's somewhere that they know of organizations that can plug in and be part of it. And it's, working with nonprofits to help increase their sustainability and their usage and create resources for everybody.
Yeah. So I'll plug that information into the minutes as well. And the application deadline for that is on October 29th, so just 10 days away. So that one's approaching a little more quickly. For action circles, the Farm and Economic Development Action Circle did not meet this month. The Food Security Action Circle met, and we have been working with Kayla reached out to their food pantry on the medical campus about the program they run with patients who have been discharged to meet their diet specific nutrition standards. So we're hoping to curate a donation list based on the items that they need the most. And this is in connection with the Healthy Holiday Food Drive that we've done the past 2 years through the Nutrition Education Action Circle. So we're kind of spreading the love through action circles on that one. The Nutrition Education Action Circle is picking up our project that was left off pre-COVID, and that's working with the Bookmobile to visit daycares pending the outcome of COVID in the springtime. So we're planning for March to get out to daycares with the Bookmobile and plant seeds with them and teach them about nutrition education. Does anybody have any questions on any of that information?
No, we do have a grant with Martin Pitt Partnership for Children to help do some of that, working with the daycare. So I don't know if you guys are coordinating with them. It would be good to coordinate with them to make sure if there's some gaps somewhere, if we can fill them through our food council or that action circle. So
Joni Torres is still doing education with daycare, early childhood providers on how to do a small garden at their facilities. And Tanisha Armstrong, our FCS agent, has a great training called Color Me Healthy that she could also add to help teachers of young children incorporate food and health. So
Awesome.
Like that would be very beneficial to college students too. Yes. For the action circles, Caitlin, we have an AmeriCorps Vista. When I say we, Lakeisha and I both supervise an AmeriCorps Vista out of our office. Is he able to join these action circles? And if so, how do we get him on that?
Absolutely. If you can have him email me, and I will tell him a little bit about each one and get him on whichever listserv he chooses.
Okay, great.
And Kayla, what was the organization you said that has funding?
I'm sorry, healthy opportunities, or I'm sorry.
No, about the bookmobile, nutrition education for kids.
Oh, so that would be, we gave some funds to Mark Pitt Partnership for Children.
Okay.
And what they do is they kind of oversee daycares or kind of improvement of daycares, education of the workers there, make sure they have the skills that they need to meet the state standards.
Awesome.
And Sharon Cooper is their executive director. And I can provide you with her contact information if you need it.
Yeah, that'd be great. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. And those are all the updates that I have. Well, I guess the compost thing Kayla was talking about. I don't know if you guys remember the ECU project I was working on up until January 2020. The idea of that was to become a private business to compost for the community. And it stopped because of COVID. And we are finally picking it back up. So the company is called Terrabella Compost. And we are doing a partnership with ECU to start composting their food waste the food waste from the dining halls as early as November 1st. And ECU has hired interns for this partnership to deliver the food waste to the composting site. So in a sense, we're repiloting what that site will look like before taking on residential and commercial clients. But yeah, that is everything I have.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Our community garden really needs some compost. We got a quote from a compost store, like a place that sells it. Is that something, can we buy it from y'all? Or what
In the future, yes, when we have it available. So I'll keep you in the loop with that. But it'll be a little while because we'll just be getting I actually might have some from our previous pilot program that I would love to just donate. So I just need to check it out and see what it looks like. And then I'll follow up with you on that.
Okay, well, we will take it for sure.
Okay, awesome.
Mary Frances, trying to build a compost area for your community garden might be something you want to consider. We've got one at Making Pitt Fit Community Garden, and that might be a great Eagle Scout project. We always get asked for projects, so just something to keep in mind.
I will definitely keep that in mind. We don't have any Boy Scouts in town anymore, so.
Well, there's a pretty robust group out of Farmville, and I wouldn't say that they would be willing, because they really enjoy doing it. They would probably be willing to go to Bethel and do it. What do you think, Caitlin?
Yeah, I agree. They have done really great work in the Farmville Community Garden. It's kind of amazing all that they've done. And they're very eager to do more. I'll connect you with I'll try to connect you with their troop leader. If not, I can at least connect you to Eulalia, who can connect you with their troop leader.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
That is all I have. I'm going to hand it back to you, Lauren.
All right. Is there anything else for the good of the order, or any questions or clarifications? All right, seeing none, hearing none. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All right. I believe that all of y'all would be in favor, and if not, then y'all can talk on the Zoom meeting afterwards. But I adjourned the meeting at 6 o'clock actually on the dot. And the next meeting will be, I have on my calendar, November 16th.
The holiday season is upon us.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. At the next meeting, we will decide our December meeting date, whether we want to keep it or change it.
I will be in Hawaii at our next meeting, so y'all nominate me for anything while I'm gone.
Say it
Oh,
one
you
more
can just-
time,
you can
Kayla.
Right, just
One more
rub it on
time.
in, Kayla. Just rub it on
Well, I
in.
didn't want y'all to expect me like, you know, show up with my hula stuff, you know.
I got a
I
friend.
Your
see no
umbrella.
reason if we're doing a virtual meeting, you might as well join in.
I got a friend that can put you on the no-fly list, Kayla.
Really? I'm sure you do.
Oh my gosh. Well,
See you
thanks,
guys.
everybody. Have a good night.
All right.
Bye.
night.
But
everybody.
Lauren, congratulations again.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And congratulations to Lakeisha.